What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Today we got a fun video. Today we're jumping into X-Men From the Ashes, Demons in Death. And in the pages of this one-shot, what we're getting is Madeline Pryor, Havok, and Omega Red. This is Havok and Omega's Red journey from Krakoa into X-Factor and Sentinels. When Krakoa fell, our heroes spread out across the globe. Havok having rather unfortunate luck, being resurrected by Madeline Pryor, almost like a ghoul, almost like a zombie. And so it's his trials and tribulations in trying to deal with the monster that he's become. And then there's Omega Red. Omega Red has seen such character development. The Krakoan era, it truly did change him. But when Krakoa falls, when there's nowhere for Omega Red to go, he goes to the one place that he does remember. He returns home for the first time since he ever got his powers. But now that Krakoa has fallen, what is the direction of our heroes? Will they fall into old ways? Or will they embrace the new person that they have become? With that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, our story is starting us off in Limbo, the embassy in New York City. Right now, there's a knocking at the front door. That knocking is coming from Polaris. And at first, they deny her entry. They say that Alex, he's indisposed. But Polaris has not seen Havok ever since the Krakoan era fell. So now she's like wondering what the heck is going on. Where is Alex Summers? Why has he not been in contact? Me and him go way back. What's going on? But standing up on the staircase, hiding in the shadows, this is where we have Alex. Even Polaris, not being able to fully see him, she can tell that something is wrong. There's a lot of people out there that care about him, that are worried about him because it's been months. But Alex, he swears that he's fine, that she and nobody else need to worry about him. And as this story continues on, we get a little bit of a narrative from one of the demons. The demon named Kyr, a demon that used to be somebody. Belasco himself had appointed him to the court scribe on account of his way with words. But those days are long gone. Now he is a caregiver for a mutant that can barely feed himself. Of course, referring to Alex Summers. And the Goblin Queen, she is rather different these days, rather distracted these days. And the other demons are beginning to talk. Patching up Alex Summers, it used to be a thing that was a weekly occurrence, but now it's almost daily. If he's being honest with himself, he almost feels sorry for Alex. Except he knows where these skin grafts come from. Now things have been promising for quite a while down here in Limbo. Limbo welcomed mutant kind, and for a hot minute, they even had their own X-Men team. But after the events of Dark X-Men, after Havok got taken out, got turned into a shish kebab, the Queen decided to resurrect him. The only problem, it hasn't been working out. He's a demon, and even he knows that prolonging Alex's life like this is torture. But when Kyr leaves, he is met by some other demons. And these demons have some questions. They want to know where the skin's coming from. They want to know if the rumors are true. Does the Queen's loyalties lie with Limbo, or the carcass that is lying in the bed in there? This is when Havok blasts them. And he tells them that the next plasma blast is going to put you through a wall. That you guys need to put my friend down and walk away. Kyr, he never experienced anything like this before. Nobody has ever done anything like this for him before. Once thinking to himself that Alex calling him a friend was foolish. But the bond that they have slowly begun to form over the time, this is the closest thing that either of them have to a friend here in Limbo. This is when he tells Alex that there could be a way to fix you. There could be a real way to fix you. And so later that night, the two of them snuck off. He might be a demon, but even he's got limits. But what he is suggesting to Alex, he knows the Goblin Queen would cut out his tongue for even suggesting what they're about to do. An eternity of dumb decisions. This might be his dumbest one yet. But Alex stood up for him. Nobody has ever stood up for him, giving him a potion of demon's blood to help him really stand up and be able to move around to get where they're going. It doesn't take them long for them to end up in the depths of Limbo, right from the embassy, right to where they need to be. This is what takes them to Nazturth. Chained up by magic, stuck here in prison. They have come to him for help. And if botched necromancy is the cause of his plight, then he surely can help. The only thing he has to do is release him, with Alex having no other option. They came all the way down here. The skin is literally melting off of his skin every time he uses his powers. He is deteriorating, and so he frees him. He tells Alex to prepare once his chains are broken. With a thunderous boom, we look around, and we see that Havok remains unchanged. This was no botched necromancy. He apologizes to Havok. He says that there is literally nothing I can do for you. You are beyond my power of remedy. The Goblin Queen, she did this to you on purpose. You are like this because she chose for you to be like this. If your condition had been the result of crappy necromancy, I would have been able to fix you. I would have been able to reverse it. But Madeline Pryor hexed you, holding up his end of the bargain. He goes to find magic. He goes down to take down the Rasputin that put him in chains. Now, obviously, at this point, Madeline Pryor has heard the news. She's heard who is broken out of prison, and now she goes to find the culprit. She goes to find the ones responsible for breaking his chains. So when Madeline arrives, she is obviously shocked to find Havok, telling the demons that she needs skin, she needs flesh right now to graft. But Havok tells her to stop all of this madness. He tells her that he knows that you put a hex on me. You did all of this when you resurrected me. Now he wants to know, like, why did you do this? Is this about Lorna or Nathan? Do you hate me? Is it my family? Why would you curse me in such a manner? Madeline telling Alex that I don't hate you. I just wanted to keep you safe. She knew that Krakoa would fall. She knew it would be violent. And she knew that they would come calling when that murderous bald bastard called. Or worse, his brother called. Madeline just wanted to keep him here until the danger had passed. But the danger never passes. Not for them, the danger is always there. And so she kept him like this. Kept him hidden away, tucked from the world. This is when that was once chained seizes an opportunity, telling the Goblin Queen that he will never submit to her rule. We see this fight breaking out, and when Havok goes to use his powers, Madeline tells him not to. We know what will happen, and so when he does, we see the flesh completely come off of his arms. Nothing remaining but skeletons. Looking over at Maddie and telling her that you can stop all of this. You know you can. Apologizing to Alex and telling him that she has only held on so tightly because no one ever held her at all. Removing the hex from Alex. We see him fully return, his power coming back. No longer a ghoul, no longer half dead. Havok's powers were restored. And Alex was glorious, shining like a star. But after that, Alex left. He said to clear his head, but she doesn't believe that he'll be returning. Not until the sky falls again. And she knows that day will eventually come, because it always does. Maddie, she's just not able to bear this cycle. The pendulum swinging endlessly between hope and despair, flowers and pitchforks. All she ever wanted to do was protect Alex. But now he's out there. He's among the flowers and pitchforks. Kyrb saying, maybe give him some time. He's been around the block a few times, and things are rarely as final as they may seem. And while Maddie, she's angry with him, angry with the demon, because you set all this in motion. You took him from limbo. And so when he asked Madeline, what would you like me to do? What would you have me do? And what Maddie wants is for him to stay for just a little while. This is what hops us over to the story with Omega Red and one of his old-time companions from 1967. We have Nastia and we have Omega Red, the one person that never really saw him as a monster. While she saw him as a miracle, he saw himself as a monster, as a genetic accident. Many would say that this was only happening in the West, that this was a sign of decadence. But she tells him that whatever you are, a role, a place, it will be found for you. This is what takes us to present day. Omega Red, after Krakoa, is making his way back home. He hasn't been back home since the Soviet Union was still existing. And upon his return, he is greeted by an old woman. He is greeted by his grandmother. And in a very vague way, she kinda tells him that home is but a dream, and then she just disappears. He doesn't follow. He doesn't find reason to. He is eager to see what he left behind. He found his purpose in this world through the Spetsnaz program, but when they found out what he is, they put him under the knife. They made him more than what he is. After that, he lost any desire to return home, until today. But when he gets into town, he asks around and he's looking for Anastasia, seeing if she still lives here. But when he says that name, some of the locals attack him, saying, "How dare you come here and say that name?" Now, obviously, Omega Red has no idea what the hell's going on, but they quickly learn that he is a mutant. Being a mutant, they don't want him around. Things look like they're about to escalate, but then an older man comes out and shoots a pistol into the sky. The guy Omega Red is about to beat up, this is his kid, and the old man's telling his son to get on, grab you and your friends and go. This old man's name is Gregory, and he knows him from back in the day. So they sit down, they have some drinks. Omega Red vows that he is no threat to him or his family, that Krakoa, it really did change him. Though Gregory's wife, she is not nearly as happy to be welcoming their guest. Now at this point, Omega Red, he's already feeling unwelcome, but Gregory tells him that there's a lot going on you don't understand. There's a void left in this town. 3 years ago, a terrible sickness took 8 children. Their grandson was among them. But if you've come looking for Anastasia, I hate to tell you, but she died. There was a fire some years back, and unfortunately, she just didn't make it. And he says that they don't know how the fire had started, but she most likely died from smoke inhalation. While he looks at the burnt remains of the old house, this is when somebody throws a rock at his head, and calls him a ghoul. The girl says that she's dead. That isn't that enough for you? Why would you come back here to gloat? Now Omega Red, he has many things right now. Among all of them, the biggest one is confused. As the girl runs off, he's wondering, like, how did you know Anastasia? Why would anyone ever gloat over her death? And when he stands by a river, he can smell it. Bad chemicals, spoiled flesh. Something terrible happened in this river. So when Omega Red goes back to Gregory, he tells Gregory's wife about the encounter that he had. But more than that, he saw the scattering of coins and charms. He knows old magic when he sees it. Now he wants to know, what was she to your village? Anastasia was a healer, like her mother and her mother's mother. When everything else failed, they would bring the sick to her. And every time she was able to help them. Though some of the local boys, they tormented her. They tormented her cat. But no matter what they did to her, she always helped the village. The truth is though, there were many that always hated her. The wife not saying any more. The husband comes in. Gregory comes in and says, "I thought you were leaving." But Omega Red now he has many more questions. And Gregory says, "Alright, I didn't see the fire with my own eyes, but if you come with me, you can speak to those who did." This is what takes us to the steel plant. We pick up with Victor, Gregory's son, saying that if you want the truth, here it is. Your friend, that witch Anastasia, she killed my son. Sergi and his friends, they had played pranks on her, but they didn't deserve what happened to them. When they all got sick, we took them to her. We took them to her for her remedies, but she said she could do nothing for them. One by one, they began to die. They believed that it was the witch's revenge. The revenge for killing her damned cat. They burned her while she slept. Omega Red telling them that there will be a reckoning for this. This is where Omega Red is caught off guard. He's hit with a giant hook. Co-conspirator hiding in the shadows. The chains hitting him, and this sends him flying. He falls into the molten metal. He falls into the lava, and they think that this is the end of it. But they don't understand him. They don't understand his healing factor. So when he comes back up out of the lava, they begin to panic. They begin to freak out. Gregory hitting Victor, telling him that you unleashed this. I warned you of what could happen. Now they have to round up all those that were able to help out with the witch's demise. Tell them to bring weapons. Tell them to bring guns. Because there is no running from this. This is Omega Red. We have no other choice but to try to kill the devil himself. The first goon opening up on Omega Red. And Omega Red fully suited up. He starts slicing dudes in half. At this point, everybody is rushing into the church. They're rushing for a safe haven. Gregory and his wife trying to plead with Omega Red. This town has believed for so long that woman, that witch, had murdered all the children, but the truth was, it was a steel plant. They were dumping their poisons into the river over and over again, always assuming that it was perfectly safe. And the children, those babies, had played there, time and time again. It was never Anastasia that killed those children. She was just someone convenient that they could blame. Omega Red has heard enough. Impaling Gregory, taking him down. He tells the wife to go. He tells Elena to run, to take anyone innocent of these crimes with you, because what will follow is going to stain this town forever. As he goes into the church, they say that there's no way you would do this here. But to Omega Red, religion is the opiate of the masses. This is where one by one, he massacres every single man that had anything to do with the death of Anastasia. And as he leaves that church, this is where he runs into the ghost of Anastasia, looking at the terrible and monstrous instrument that he has become, a sadness in her heart. But even still, she thanks Omega Red. She thanks him for avenging him. But he also now knows that he will be hunted once more. That is where this issue will end. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Both tremendously heartbreaking and sad stories. But it's nice to see a kind of glimpse of what's going on with Havok, what's going on with Limbo, what's going on with Omega Red. Krakoa fell, and it left us in shambles. It left mutant kind in shambles. And while the heroes banded together, they made their own little X-Men teams. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for everybody else. There are those that are left in the wake, left at the hands of those that would oppress them, left at the hands of those that would exploit them, left with nothing but an empty town full of ghosts. This is rather unfortunate for Omega Red, with him having such a huge redemption arc. You can't blame the man for killing all of these people. They burned an innocent woman alive, all because of their fear, all because of their suffering and their sadness. They needed a finger, a direction to point all of this at, and that landed on the witch. You can't blame Omega Red for going in there and avenging her death. But of course, you know the heroes are going to. The X-Men will come for him. The government is going to come for him. Omega Red is made to be a villain yet again, but this time in the most saddest of ways. Not a man that is seeking to hurt, but a man that was seeking to avenge. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that has been going on with the X-Men titles, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. Oh, excuse me. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50 from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only would you be helping out the channel tremendously, you're also getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.